anything that we do, you can find on our website, ellenfrost.com. We do weekly newsletter, weekly YouTube videos on design, and we have an online flower community. All right, so today I'm going to just show you a simple hand-tied bouquet. It's a little bit different than like a market bouquet in that it is going to be not as vertical as a market bouquet. So like a market bouquet, you might lay out the same way, but when you're making it, you're sort of making everything very vertically. So this is going to be like a hand-tied bouquet that has a more splayed stem and more splayed sort of design. And this is like the kind of design that we would use for like a bridal bouquet or a hand-tied bouquet that we would put in like a vase or something like that. If you've never made a hand-tied bouquet before, they can be tricky. So if you practice at home, don't feel bad if it like is really hard, like the first 10 times. It's really hard. So I'll just show you the technique. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be holding with my left hand and placing with my right hand. So the move is always this. That's always the placement. So whatever I'm doing, I'm going to place it at this angle, which is going to allow my stems to do this. See? Different than like a market bouquet where you're just having everything vertically. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to keep my hand really loose. So I'm going to try to make everything in between my thumb and forefinger. Not giving it the death grip, which is this, which changes like the whole shape, right? So you can see like if it's like that or this. So just trying to keep a loose grip on it, not keeping my fingers on it. All right, so I've got just a mix of things. These are all flowers from Lisa that she picked for us. I'm going to use a little bit of basil for foliage, a little bit of celosia for line flower. I've got a couple Rebecchias for face flower, some zinnias, coxcomb, and then a little bit of cosmos for a little something special. All right, so you can do more than one flower at a time, but usually if you're just starting, I'd say like lay your flowers out and do them one stem at a time. So like later you could do 2 or 3 zinnias at a time, but I think for just practice, it's best to just go one at a time. All right, so your first stem is like this, and then you're turning your entire bouquet. So like turn it a quarter turn, then hold on to it again. Then you're going to place the next stem and you're going to do that same cross, right? So a lot of times when you're doing this, it feels like you should just like turn your wrist, but it's actually like a turn of the bouquet. So that's how you get to keep that stem, that sort of splayed stem. And don't feel bad like trimming things because those are very heavy. And then I would just like have this cleaned up a little bit. And so my next stem's like this, turn it, and I'm keeping it nice and loose, putting it still at this angle. And don't feel like bad either, like adjusting as you go, like if you need to like pull things out or pull things down. Just turning it and then putting my cosmos. So that's sort of the move. Seems kind of easy when you're looking at it, but I don't know. I've been doing this like almost 20 years, and I still am like, oh my god, hand-tied bouquets. So that's your move. Turn it. And these elements are sort of the same elements I use in everything. So some foliage, a line flower, some face flowers, and then like some filler, which could be this coxcomb, and then some little bits and piece, little special thing that could be that cosmo that adds a little bit of, I don't know, whimsy or interest. And if you're making this as like a bridal bouquet, your hand can get really tired because the stems are really heavy, so just keep trimming. And if you get really tired, you could just like rubber band it, just like a farmer rubber band trick, and then put it down, go eat lunch, and rubber band.
Have you ever done the, which I know they make the special egg, but
oh yeah.
But also, have you ever done like just chicken ball wire?
Yeah.
Is that helpful?
Yeah. If you have never seen that before, like Holly Chapel has 2 mechanics. One is like a egg, she calls it, and the other is a pillow. So it's basically just like, you could use chicken wire, like just regular chicken wire, like make a little ball, and then use that as like a mechanic that you're putting your stems through. And what that does is like, it's doing what you can't learn to make your hand do. It's just like letting the stems have more space. And yeah, so you can definitely use an egg. You can use a piece of chicken wire. Either of those work great. Other questions? I only have 2 celotias. That's all that's left. Don't use 2. Use 3. But I only have 2, so I'm using 2. And anytime I'm using like a line flower, I try to let the line, the reason you use a line flower is so that it takes your eye down to the focal flower. So make sure that you pull it out a little bit so that you can actually see the line instead of like tucking it in where you can't see it. Really just like let it do its thing. And I'm just still trimming so that it's not so heavy. And I'm using some of this Rudbeckia that's like a little bit darker. It has a little bit of a pink tint to it. So like with this celotia, I feel like it's a nice combination. All right, other questions?
Is it too late in the season to start Rudbeckia for the darker color flowers to have in bouquets for the fall? I meant to ask.
No idea.
I want to say that you can do a succession now. I want to say.
I don't know.
Lisa had on Sea Talk had a good thing on succession, and that's where she talked about doing it.
Uh-huh. I am a florist,
Yeah.
not a grower. And though I work with a lot of growers and I know a lot about growing, I don't actually grow anything. So like the details of growing, I can tell you the exact harvest stage of most flowers, but I don't grow anything myself. So I'm not sure about the timing.
Yeah, look on Sea Talk for succession. I think that was really good because she gave dates and timing, and it was really good. So pretty.
But you can see how the stems, right, are sort of this wider look. And it's just like a looser, more natural kind of style. So, you know, you can do this. You can do a hand-tied bouquet with any flowers, any foliage. The style works for, you know, anything. The thing you want to make sure, I have a lot of face flowers, so I just want to make sure that I'm not having too many face flowers together. So don't feel bad if you have to, like, turn things around in your bouquet a little bit or move things around.
How would you add something into the middle if you see there's a hole?
Yep. So, let's see. So keep your hand loose so that, like, it's really open and then there's still room in there. So if I was like, oh, I want to have like a Rudbeckia here, you could just stick it in. But when you stick it in, that stem is broken. Try to follow. Try to follow the. So I've got my hand pretty loose, and I'm trying to like keep it in line with the angle of the other stems. So putting it in at the same angle. Because once you try to put it in at the wrong angle, it like breaks when you try to tape it. Because then you got one wonky stem. So just try to follow it. Loosen your hand, stick it through the middle there, and then just keep it in line with the other angles. So if I were doing this for like a wedding or bridal bouquet, I'd probably be using like a mirror to help me, or if like I was just at work and there were other people at work with me, a lot of times, all right, so here's an example. I'm like, oh, here's a little place where I want to have some foliage, and I just got lazy and I didn't just turn it the way I should turn it. I was just going to add it in, but you can see, like, if it's not in line with the other stems, then it starts to get weird. And see, you can see right there, like, it's how I'm holding it. If I try to tape this, that stem is going to break. So just don't be lazy. Just turn it to where you need to turn it, and then add your foliage in at the same angle. So yeah, if I was using it for like a bridal bouquet, I'd probably be using a mirror, or I would be working with somebody who could just be looking at it in the way that somebody would be holding it. Right, so if you're holding it as like a bridal bouquet, It looks different to me looking down on it than it does face forward. The other thing is if I was using it for a bridal bouquet, the way that we really want a bride to hold a bouquet, I'm just going to show you, this is not finished, but is we don't really want them to be holding it upright, because if you're like holding it in a picture upright, then there's a lot of this. That's not what you want in your like bridal picture. You want like this, right? So we would really tape this, and then I would trim it. I mean, I can just tape it and show you here. This is not a finished product. I would tape it. So this is just floral tape. If you've never used it, you can come up and feel it. It feels like paper, but it has like a little bit of a residue in it, so that when you pull it tight, that's when it sticks to each other. So like when you touch it, it just feels kind of paperish. But when you pull it tight, that's when the resin activates and it just sticks to itself. So I would tape it. Just hold. I can show you how I tape. Just hold it with my finger, and then wrap it around. And I'm keeping, keeping that wide grip on it. And then if it were a bridal bouquet, I would put ribbon on it and stuff, but then I'm trimming it, I think, to within about an inch or an inch and a half under the tape, because I really want to tell the bride to tip it forward, and I don't want her dress to be getting wet from these long stems. So I'm going to cut it nice and short, and then I'm going to have her tip it out towards the picture. That's just the best way. Like, we try to instruct people how to hold our bouquets if you're using it as a handheld, because like if you're holding it like this because you're nervous, like that's crazy. And if you're holding it like this, then again, like all you're seeing is this. So we really want people to just hold it out. Yeah, so that's just a little hand-tied bouquet. Any questions? It looks a little wonky right now.
Do you talk to the photographers about that too, or just?
Yeah, so when we drop off a bridal bouquet, anything could happen. Like you might hand this to a bride, you might hand it to her sister, to a random catering person. Like who knows like what situation you're going to be in. So anyone we give it to, we give like really clear instructions about what to do with the bouquet and how to carry it. We also make sure that if there is a front to the bouquet, that is clearly marked and clearly told, because a lot of times if there's a front and they hold it backwards, it looks not right. So we really try to like have everybody in line with like how to hold the bouquet. Other questions? Easy peasy, right?
I don't know that I got the way you're twisting whatever the lazy. I don't know what the lazy or the not lazy thing is.
Oh yeah.
I just didn't quite catch that.
I'll just show you again. Let me take this tape. So also, if you're like making a bouquet and you're like, oh, I'm finished, but then I don't know, you're like, no, I'm not. Just untape it. You still got your shape. It's fine. So the thing I was saying is like I saw a piece where I wanted to add a flower on this side, and what I did was I was going to try to just stick it in this way. And you can see here that the stem now is not in line with the angle that I put it in. So I want to just make sure that I turn the bouquet to where the flower should go, then place it just the same angle I always place it. Don't get like lazy and think, oh, I can just put it in over here. You really have to stick with that, with placing, everything is placed like this. You're always putting that right in line, because otherwise your stems can just get wonky, and you really want to keep them in that spiral.
So you're using the floral tape instead of a rubber band.
You can we rubber band for temporary, like going to the bathroom or eating lunch. Like I would just like rubber band it and put it in a vase, and then go do what I have to do.
Right.
Then come back, unrubber band it. But I'm not giving it to a client with a rubber band.
Gotcha.
I would do that for like a market bouquet, but
Right.
not for a bridal bouquet. So I would tape it, and then I would like cover it in ribbon.
Is there a trick to like with the tape of being able to hold it while taping it?
It's tricky.
Yeah.
The thing is that the biggest challenge that people have is that you don't want your design to move.
Right.
So you could put your rubber band back on just to hold everything in place. Then you could tape, because then nothing's moving.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then once you're taped up, take your rubber band off.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's just like a little help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
Yep. Other questions? Everybody gonna go home and do a hand-tied bouquet now? All right, send me a picture if you try it. All right, well, thanks for joining in.